Three people from a close-knit organization live on a remote island to escape the corruption of the outside world. However, when their secret desires come to light, the temptation threatens their experiment and their lives. To test their mental prowess while disconnected from the chaotic world, members of the Smiley Face Center, namely the operator, the chairman, and the vice chairman, live on a remote island. After having breakfast, they discuss their dreams. The chairman, a former novelist, shares how he dreamed about a fantastical adventure that inspired him. But when he woke up, he couldn't remember anything. The vice chairman then recalls dreaming about the organization's 3rd Division chief. When asked about what happened, she trails off, so the chairman reminds her that their project won't be successful if they don't consistently report these. Still, the vice chairman insists that this is all she remembers. The trio proceeds with their day, with the operator reporting their progress and the other two practicing their synchronicity. Afterward, they collect a few boxes from the storeroom, then take them to a shipping container by the beach. Upon opening the container, they find that the delivery didn't include their food supply, which they're running out of. Still, they load the boxes from their truck into the container, while taking the newly delivered boxes. Afterward, they walk by the shore, which is littered with trash that was washed ashore. As they sleep that night, people from their organization arrive to deliver more boxes while taking the boxes that the trio left. During this, the operator dreams of seeing a woman by the stairs and touching her leg. In the morning, he shares this dream, recounting that the place was his high school dormitory, though he doesn't recognize the woman. He also admits that he was excited by the dream, so to keep him from having intimate desires, the chairman decides that the operator will spend the day in the hole. And so, while the others drive up to the shipping container, the operator digs a hole near their camp. He then spends the rest of the day buried from the waist down. The vice chairman later checks on him, and the man assures her that his evil thoughts will be dissolved during this process. The woman admires his honesty, admitting that she's been struggling to do the same. This makes the operator wonder if she's thought about such desires too, but she clarifies that it's not similar to his. Embarrassed, she then asks the operator to keep this a secret. However, the man immediately calls their chairman to report her secret. Because of this, the chairman demands her to tell the truth about her dreams, but the vice chairman insists that she doesn't remember them. Still, the men interrogate her, assuming that she dreamed about having physical relations with the 3rd Division chief. With this, the vice chairman ends up spending the night in the hole as well. As if to comfort her, the operator shares that he remembered that his dream was actually a memory. During his sophomore year, he was kicked out of school for drinking. His dream was when, before he left, the woman he liked said goodbye. He hasn't thought about her in a long time, but their project's effect might have triggered his memories. However, in reality, he never touched the woman by the stairs. He also can't remember her face, even though he used to be in love with her. As he says this, he imagines that the vice chairman was the one on the stairs, with him touching her. In the morning, the trio continues their routine, though the operator now feels awkward around the vice chairman. They later check the shipping container and find that they were only given flour and water for food. The trio struggles to figure out how to eat with just these items. Recalling the litter on the shore, the chairman checks and finds discarded pasta packaging, which confirms that they only need flour and water to make it. To season their meal, the vice chairman suggests using salt water, while the operator finds shellfish to add to their meal. With that, they work on making a meal, which turns out better than they expected. However, the chairman wonders if the ingredients from the ocean will pollute their bodies since they weren't purified by their master. The others assure him that they got everything from the ocean, so it shouldn't be contaminated. More fortune arrives when it starts raining, allowing them to bathe and collect more water. As she gets drenched, however, the operator can't help but stare at the vice chairman. In the evening, the chairman has a nightmare where teenagers force him to eat filth. He reports this in the morning, confirming that this is actually a memory. This makes him worry if his dream was a warning that their meal yesterday was contaminated. At the shipping container, they find a glass box containing purple balls. Since they're out of flour, they check if the balls are food, but the smell makes the operator and vice chairman suspicious. The chairman assures them that their headquarters won't send them bad food, so he eats one of the balls, only to get sick afterward. The others attempt to find more food in the sea, though the operator gets distracted again when the woman gets wet from the water. As he watches her, he finds an octopus that has crawled onto his shoe. When he looks up again, he's shocked to find a giant wave approaching. The operator snaps out of this vision and finds himself by the shore, roasting sea urchins. The vice chairman joins him, so he offers her a bite, watching her take it with interest. Noticing how he looks at her, the woman asks why he was watching her throughout their night in the hole, admitting that she was awake all night then. The man hesitantly confesses that the woman in his dreams turned into her. Hearing this, the vice chairman merely thanks him for telling her. At night, they find that the chairman is suffering from a fever, wondering if their master wants to dispose of them like they did to the others. Surrendering to his fate, the man reveals that he picked up a magazine from the shore the other day. In it was an article detailing how their organization was being labeled as a dangerous cult. It also reveals that the 3rd Division chief had abandoned the organization and is currently on the run from the authorities. This breaks the vice chairman's heart, as the chief was the one who recruited her. Meanwhile, the operator refuses to believe this, insisting that the media is just deceiving them. With this, they convince themselves that the chairman is sick from polluting his mind with the magazine instead of the purple food. To save him, the others wait by the shore for the night's deliveries, hoping to directly ask for medicine. As they wait, the vice chairman asks if something happened on the island before she arrived, noting that the chairman mentioned disposing of others. The operator dismisses this, saying that the chairman was speaking nonsense because of the fever. Troubled, the woman realizes that if the chairman dies, it'll be just the 2 of them on the island. The idea has both of them imagining the scenario, but they dismiss their thoughts just before the boat arrives. They quickly approach the delivery crew, who are surprised to see them. One of the men hands them a medicine bottle labeled as "Process Complete," though their food supply wasn't included in their delivery tonight. By morning, the chairman is healthy again due to the medicine, though he claims not to remember what he said last night. He adds that he might have been corrupted by the magazine, but the purple food removed poison from his mind, so he suggests that the others should try it too. However, the operator reveals that they discarded the balls already. The chairman is surprised by this, but he decides that the food might have rotted during delivery, hence why he got sick. He then reports that he remembered his dream, so he started on a sci-fi novel about a floating city. He also enthuses about how their experiment is evolving their minds to make their dreams into reality. The chairman also mentions a river he saw in a dream, but before he can say more, they find a new boat arriving. Quickly, the trio confronts the group of men who arrived, warning them to leave. The men claim that they've been drinking on their boat, but got lost at sea and their battery has died. They ask for help, but the chairman insists that they need to leave. Just then, the men recognize the organization logo on their clothes. They laugh at the group as they've heard gossip about them being a cult. This angers the vice chairman, so she calls them degenerates. However, one of them suddenly grabs her and calls her smelly, prompting the operator to throw her attacker back. This sparks a brawl. The men also break into their shipping container while the operator gets beaten up. The vice chairman tries to defend him, but the other man starts attacking her instead. He rips her jeans and starts kissing her, but thankfully, the operator tackles the man. He then orders the woman to call the headquarters for help, so the woman runs off. Meanwhile, the chairman fights off the others to protect the boxes inside the container. When the men don't stop, the enraged chairman pulls out a gun from the box and soon, the vice chairman hears a gunshot from afar. Later on, the operator reaches the camp, where the vice chairman apologizes for escalating the situation earlier. He assures her that it wasn't her fault before telling her that the chairman is cleaning up at the beach. The operator then types a report, mentioning that 5 wastes had forced them to carry out the final processing. As he does this, the vice chairman asks if they had a gun, but the man just tells her not to worry about it. Recalling her attack, the vice chairman then asks if she really smells. The operator checks, but the interaction excites them both. The vice chairman then admits that when the man touched her, she got excited. She berates herself for feeling this way, and the operator advises her to confess to their superiors to begin her cleansing. He promises to confess as well, revealing that he also got excited around her. To his surprise, the vice chairman decides to give in to their desires and starts pleasing them both. During this, the chairman checks the intruder's boat and even consumes their snacks and liquor. Late that afternoon, the two confess the desires they felt during the attack, so they ask the chairman for advice. He assumes that all of them were polluted because of the intruders, so he just tells them to rest. That night, the delivery crew takes away the bodies of the intruders. In the morning, the chairman puts the vice chairman in a chokehold until she loses consciousness. When she recovers, the man asks if she saw the river, and she claims that she did. This delights the chairman, asserting that their master mentioned a river that they'll see through a near-death experience, like when he was poisoned. He then proceeds to put the operator in a chokehold to check if he'll see it too. Just then, the operator finds himself driving towards the container. The vice chairman reminds him that since the chairman is still recovering, he couldn't drive, so he took his place. The operator doesn't remember this, so the woman wonders if his near-death experience muddled his memory. The man then notices that the vice chairman has ripped part of her jeans, turning them into shorts. She explains that since the man ripped her jeans yesterday, she decided to even them out. They arrive at the shipping container but find no food, so they gather some in the ocean. During this, the vice chairman admits that she didn't really see a river earlier, but just played along with the chairman. However, the operator claims that he actually saw a river, and the two of them were riding a boat on it. Hearing this, the vice chairman hopes that they can actually go on a boat ride. She then invites the man to swim. He refuses at first, but when he looks back, he finds that the woman has removed her clothes. Tempted, he soon joins her, and they end up having a private time by the beach. Late that night, the chairman has an exciting dream about the vice chairman. That morning, he accuses her of seducing him through his dreams, so now he has to be cleansed by physical intervention. With that, he orders the others to tie him to the flagpole. However, he also orders the vice chairman to perform an act on him while he's bound, but she must bite if he is satisfied. She refuses, pointing out that he might die from the act. Still, the man insists that he'd rather die than be corrupted. With no choice, the woman undresses and performs the act. The chairman fights through the sensation, reminding himself that he mustn't give in to it. Days later, the chairman and vice chairman gather food in the ocean, though the man notices that his companion is still distant towards him. He worries that she feels guilty for failing his cleansing. Not only did she not bite him then, but she also swallowed the poison. He then wonders if they'll be successful if they change the location of their act, adding that they were at the beach in his dream. With that, the woman is forced to do it again, but like last time, she couldn't bite. The chairman then decides that they must try this again until they succeed, but this makes the operator suspicious. At night, the operator and vice chairman are unable to sleep due to the events. They meet in the storeroom where the woman wonders if the chairman had such dreams about her because of what they did at the beach. The acts reminded her of her violent ex-husband, whom she escaped from when she met the 3rd Division chief. The chairman's actions make her feel like she's in the same situation, so she asks the operator to take her away. However, the man points out that they can't escape from the island. As if to forget their troubles, the two start becoming intimate, only for the chairman to catch them. This has the operator spending days and nights in the hole again, though the chairman spares the woman, claiming that the man simply mind-controlled her. She denies this, but the chairman refuses to put the blame on her. Late at night, the vice chairman checks on the operator, who now fears that the organization will destroy him. As the woman continues to worry about him, the chairman carries on with their task as normal. During their synchronicity practice, they find that they drew the same pattern, but in reverse. This convinces the chairman that they're now fully in sync. With this, he speculates that his dream of her isn't about desires, but of actual love. He asserts that now that they've proven their synchronicity, they're compatible to create a child. This idea scares the woman, so in the middle of the night, she gets up from bed and finds the chairman sleeping next to his dream notebook. In the morning, the chairman panics as the notebook is missing. The vice chairman reveals that she has it, claiming to have found it outside. However, she releases the pages and the wind scatters them. The chairman desperately gathers the pages, and she uses this chance to report the man's actions to the headquarters. Soon enough, the man catches her on the computer, so she distracts him by touching him. As she does, he fights through the sensations again, asserting that the 3rd Division chief must have made her do these things as well. He stresses that he's not like that man, who abandoned them. Just then, the vice chairman finds that he's lost interest in her acts, so he uses this as proof that his interest in her isn't from desire, but love. However, the woman points out that he forced her to do these acts, which she has already reported to headquarters. The man dismisses this as he wants to create a new life with her. She challenges this by continuing the act on him again, and to fight through this, he asks her to marry him. This, however, convinces the woman to bite, not wanting to be trapped with another manipulative husband. She soon carries his body out, and the delivery crew finds him in the storage container that night. The next day, the operator wakes up inside the camp just as the vice chairman returns from the beach. She nurses him back to health and lies that the headquarters took care of the chairman for her. Now, they have the whole to themselves, so the couple proceeds to satisfy their desires. After their deed, the operator recalls how his mother begged him to leave the organization, even though she was a previous member. She claimed that the organization manipulated her into recruiting him, but she regretted this and wanted to save her son. However, he abandoned her. Over the next few days, the couple continue to enjoy each other's presence, though the operator is still plagued by memories. The vice chairman interrupts his thoughts one night as she worries that they haven't received any letters and deliveries. This makes them wonder if the organization found out about their relationship. Thinking that they've broken too many rules anyway, the operator finally asks for his lover's real name. However, she hesitates, so he gives up on asking. With no deliveries, the two continue catching their own food, hoping that they can be self-reliant and live on the island forever. Although, while at the beach, the vice chairman sees 3 bodies of former practitioners, but when the operator checks, they're gone. She also has a vision of the chairman tied to the flagpole as her mind is still plagued by her fears about the organization. One day, the vice chairman sees a strange cloud formation, wondering if it's a sign. Just then, the operator receives a new letter from the organization, announcing that their fellow practitioners will be arriving tomorrow. To their surprise, hundreds of members arrive the next day. Furthermore, the vice chairman is pulled into a field by the 3rd Division chief, who has also arrived. He asks her to run away with him, claiming that their master has become violent, and several members had suffered mental breakdowns because of him. He asserts that keeping hundreds of members in cramped spaces, forcing them to recite mantras, and writing their dreams, had caused some of them to confuse dreams with reality. This resulted in severe consequences, like when one man killed his companions while thinking that he was defeating invisible enemies. The vice chairman worries that the chief has been brainwashed by the corrupt world, but the man insists that he's trying to save her since their master intends to have everyone end their lives today. He then embraces the woman, begging her to leave with him. However, the operator finds them and yells to the others that there's a spy among them. With that, several armed men chase away the chief. The organization's event commences, led by the master. A spokesperson then announces their departure from the filthy world while the members are given purple drinks. This makes the vice chairman worry, more so when she finds a boy in their group. Seeing her doubt and having overheard her conversation with the chief, the operator suddenly swats the drinks from the others, yelling at them not to drink it. He gets tackled by the others, but the chief appears and shoots the master. He's gunned down, but the police suddenly arrive, sparking a battle between the members and the officers, while the vice chairman attempts to shield the boy from the violence. However, the boy escapes from her grasp, and the woman gets pushed to the ground and trampled. The operator later finds her heavily wounded, and all she can say is the organization's mantra before losing consciousness. Months later, the operator and the vice chairman live out their dreams of having a boat ride together. The operator is glad that she survived the riot, though he admits that he's felt sad after leaving their island. Just then, another boat passes them by with a woman wearing the organization's shirt. However, she treats it like a novelty merchandise as she and her friends joke about the cult. Hearing how their experience is now a joke frustrates the operator. He then finds that his companion is undressed, revealing that he's merely dreaming of this boat ride. In reality, the operator is in prison, still clinging to the organization's practices for comfort. One day, he's summoned by the warden as a terrorist has taken members of the Congress hostage, demanding the release of the organization's members. To the operator's surprise, the hostage taker is the chairman, who apparently survived. He urges his former companion to join them in rebuilding their organization, but the operator refuses, having accepted the consequences of his actions. The operator later concentrates on his dream of the river with his beloved, as this is the only place where he feels at peace. As he looks up to his barred window, he finds the same cloud formation he saw with the vice chairman, wondering if this is a sign from her from heaven.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.